To be a star, you must burn. But what does that even mean? The vast majority of folks I have come across want to be incredibly successful at their craft, and to you watching, you probably do too. We don't want to be dust mite or an insignificant grain of sand in the desert, but a light bulb so bright it nearly blinds. And despite this desire to be the best footballer, the best artist, the best student, only 8% of adults manage to achieve their goals. We often forget that success does not come into existence through mere thoughts, but rather a consistent and persistent effort that is only halted by death. Our dreams are just that, sparklers, ignited by our desires, illuminating the void that is our mind as we hope to keep its light bright enough for someone else to benefit from it. But a sparkler and a star are not the same. One is lit by one single flame that soon dies, while the other is a continuous explosion so bright you can see it from thousands of miles away. A star doesn't shine and a star doesn't glow either. It burns over and over and over again until it is halted by death, for everything that has a beginning must end. So what then must you do to be a star, to be so good at what you do that you need not to tell people about the excellence of your work, to illuminate the void around you and say a path for others to follow? You must burn, and I do not mean that literally, but you must set your limiting beliefs ablaze. You must burn the bridges that no longer serve you. You must create a chain of explosions, each one louder and brighter than the last, turning your excuses to ashes and reducing your worries to dust. If you are all set and believe you have what it takes, what are the things you need? Belief. The human mind is designed and shaped in an interesting way. A sound mind can bring nearly everything it conceives into existence, while its counterpart finds it difficult to put even a single thought on paper. How many dreams and how many times has an idea been scrunched up, tossed aside, and left to rot in the back of your mind because you think you're not worthy, or because you think no one will care, or that you will be mocked for daring to dream and wanting to be more? But do you know that despite the whispers and the ideologies that make you question your every move, you are a star waiting to be born, if that is you allow yourself to burn a little brighter and see what your subconscious scrolls onto paper and declares to be true. For when you look at how mundane each assumption is, how uncharismatic you are, how boring you are, how unintelligent you are, how incapable of being more than what you currently are, you come to the realization that it is just that, a single thought. And if you disagree, you can always challenge it. Play dress up as the person you dream of being, walk like them, talk like them, act like them. Share that piece of information you think no one will care about. Quiz yourself on the knowledge you have gathered and compare your results to said belief. Is it 100% match? Are you truly daft, too old, unlovable, and not enough? Or are you merely following an illusion? When you come to the realization that you are not all that you thought you were, create a new belief. And instead of merely telling yourself that you are smart and capable, put this belief into practice. Engage in a mentally challenging task. Dedicate yourself to what you are passionate about for a month and celebrate your milestones each time. And keep at it until you can say with unshakable faith that I am. 2. Courage. I think it's rather interesting that fear is a mere emotion, yet it affects us to an extent that is greater than our imagination. We see people around us conquer project after project, soar past hurdle after hurdle, and when we look at ourselves, we begin to wonder, what are they doing that I have not been doing? In simple terms, courage, in terms that are not so simple, it begins with fear. Fear of failing, fear of not being accepted, fear of trying and not succeeding, fear of what others will think, and a list longer than I can fit into this video. When you take time to analyze this emotion, you'd be surprised to find what lies on the other side of it. Growth, success, joy, opportunities, love, peace, just to name a few. In spite of its benefits, only few challenge their fears. And here's what I've learned. Action. Fear and action do not coexist. Listen to that again. Fear and action do not coexist. So long as you keep moving, the hold your fears have on you would only be so great. Pick yourself up after your second fall and keep moving. By the time you fall for the 10th time, you know better to keep moving, keep learning, keep growing, compared to just remaining static. And as you continue to do the things that scare you out of your mind, you start building a version of you that is strengthened with every step you take in spite of your fear. When you combine courage with a belief that serves you, you'd find that you'd shine brighter than a torch and burn better than any campfire. The right environment. A tree that is well tended to flourishes better than the one that isn't. Our environments not only shape our futures, they interact with our entire being. Our thoughts, our subconscious, our souls. If you want to change your life, change your habits. And if you want to change your habits, change your environment. The right environment will either make or break you. You can have a sound belief about yourself and be as courageous as you can be. If your environment keeps putting your light out, you are never going to shine, let alone burn. So you must analyze your environment. Does it serve you or does it drain you? You are the average of 5 people. Do the people you spend a good portion of your time uplift you or hinder your growth? If your answer is in the negative, then create a list of qualities you'd like to find in your close circle. I can assure you you'd find at the very least one person out there that has one of these qualities. If the circle you grew up in dwindles your spark, it is time to create one that doesn't. 4. Persistence. Delays, hurdles, they are inevitable. You can have the right belief, the courage to face your fears, the perfect support system, and still stumble, still falter, still struggle to shine on some days. A river cuts through rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence. Persistence requires 2 things, perseverance and patience. Have you heard the phrase, growth is not linear? If you have started a project but soon abandoned it, there probably was a time when things went smoothly. You went for a run every morning, you painted every day, you wrote a new chapter every week, and then you dip. You stopped showing up, you stopped picking your pen up, you stopped capturing your daydreams on paper, making you feel depressed and less likely to continue. This feeling is apparently very common because growth, once again, is not a linear path. It begins with the right motive. Why do you do what you do? For fame, glory, approval? If you answered affirmatively, then I'll have you know that this is the easiest route to getting burnt out and quitting. Why? There's a high chance you underperform because of the unrealistic expectations you set for yourself, which will lead you to criticizing yourself and your work, causing you to be stuck in a vicious cycle that is simply hard to break from. The right motive should be that you pursue a path because you are passionate about it, because you intend to grow, or because you desire freedom, and this goal is the only way to unlock that specific freedom. Motives like these do not only make you feel accomplished with each step you take, but they also give you something meaningful to look forward to. Here are additional questions to ask yourself. Your mindset. Do you have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset? Do you believe that your skills and intelligence are fixed by the events surrounding your birth and upbringing? Or do you believe that you can always learn new things and develop new habits? Our traumas and wounds are not our fault. It is, however, our responsibility to fix them. The more fixed your mindset is, the harder it is to be persistent. If you think you can't be a successful artist because no one in your family paints and follow that belief by giving up each time you make an error while painting, you simply won't be what you always dreamed of being. To truly be a star, you must learn to adopt new habits that serve you and stick by them. Talent can't be ignored, but you also have to recognize that effort and hard work pays off. Instead of focusing on the end goal, focus on the little improvements you make. Use your setbacks to develop new and stronger strategies that allow you to soar past the hurdles in your path. And failure is inevitable. The way I found to use this to your advantage is to pay attention. What was working and what wasn't. Once you're able to recognize a pattern, it is easier to stick to what works and avoid what doesn't. So every time you fall and your life dims, take the time to assess the situation and the events surrounding it. That way, you do not only avoid treading the same path, but you also know how to navigate future falls. Be realistic. Rome wasn't built in a day, and this applies to your goals as well. Do your research. What is the average timeline for the project you wish to embark on? It takes a star an average of 1,000,000 years to become one. In more relatable light, you can't bake a delicious cake from scratch in 5 minutes, and this includes the time it takes to bake. You are less likely to give up if you give yourself enough time to accomplish the goal you set for yourself. Just like a plant needs good soil, water, and sunlight, it also needs a lot of time to grow into a tree. Lastly, I'll leave you with this. Surround yourself with those who have done it. Then, listen to how they forged on until they shine as brightly as they do now. And let them inspire you every day, every week, every month until you reach your goal. Till next time, this is Art and Chai, Baniki Digital.